You see? The egg or not the egg, this is the question. No, cooking or not cooking, this is the question. What does cooking mean? Very difficult question. In 1996, 1997, I discovered that this cooking is not a question of time, it's a question of temperature. I wanted to demonstrate my theory. So I made an egg at 61, 62, 63, 64 for hours. And I discovered that at 67, 68, the yolk was like a pomade. It is still orange. You have the flavor of a raw egg yolk, but you have some tenderness. In the beginning, this egg, I called it the perfect egg. And the perfect egg is everywhere in the world now.
Although the studies of low-temperature cooking are quite new, it's a technique that has been used throughout history, all around the world. Steaming, for example, has always been an important part of Colombian cuisine, a method that's making its way back into fine dining, thanks to chefs like Catalina Vélez. Trained in the toughest of schools and kitchens in Paris and the US, Catalina returned to her home, Colombia, to explore her own cooking heritage.
I guess I'm a cook that love to be a naturalist. And when I get to a different village in my country, I try to get every single technique they have and they still using. I try to put it in my kitchen in a new way. I have a community that I love. It's Humanes Mar. It's a village located in the end of the Anchicaya River. They do the tapao. It consists in you open a hole in the sand. You start some fire with wood or some stones. Then you put some, whatever you have, like little leaves or whatever, helps you to keep the food far away from the fire. We're gonna use fish that already is dry with salt, some bananas, they're green bananas, and herbs, azotea herbs. And we cover the fish, and what we do is just put it in this leaf. So this big leaf is helping us to keep the fire from the food. You get a lot of steam that comes from the wrapping up in the leaves. The steam gets only to 212 Fahrenheit, so all the time is the perfect temperature to cook a fish. When you have the right temperature, what you do is you seal the moisture inside of the liquids inside of the food you're cooking, like the fish in this case. At the same time, when you have the correct amount of time, what you do is to cook slow the food without breaking up the fibers. So you get a very delicious product in your mouth because it almost melts when you eat it.
Imagine that you take a piece of meat. Okay, you put it in the oven as it was done before. If you have 1 kilogram, you finish with 700 grams. With low temperature cooking, you begin with 1 kilogram, you finish with almost 1 kilogram, you serve 1 kilogram, so you get what you paid for. When you use a cheap meat with low temperature cooking, then you get a wonderful result for a very cheap price. And it's even better than using meat for grilling at low temperature. So low temperature cooking applies to any kind of proteins. In the old time, I call the name was the perfect egg, but it's not perfect, it depends on your taste. Someday I prefer the 65 and someday I prefer the 67, so no one is better than the other.
Sous vide involves vacuum sealing the food in a bag and slowly cooking it at a low, precisely controlled temperature, creating a richer taste experience.